Hi, so our presentation is going to cover the project overview, the industry analysis, the market analysis, and the financial analysis. Let's get started.
Let's take a look at the industry analysis. Renewable energy is something that everyone is looking into these days. Today, many of our world concerns revolve around global warming issues and how the environment is being affected by all the pollution. Renewable energy is important because they come from sustainable resources that can be replenished. It allows us to strive towards a healthier us. It helps improve our air quality. It reduces our reliance on fossil fuels and helps with global warming issues and helps create jobs. Some examples of renewable energy sources are wind power, solar power, biomass, geothermal energy, and hydroelectric power. Even though there are options to pick from when it comes to renewable energy, there is a new opportunity out there. It's called compressed air energy storage, or CAES, which we will further discuss later on in this presentation. This opportunity is being provided through a company called ABC Nationwide. Let's look at who ABC Nationwide is. ABC Nationwide believes in turning challenges into opportunities. ABC Nationwide is an information management technology and engineering private firm based in California. The firm provides solutions in regards to promoting cleaner, greener environment. Currently, ABC Nationwide is in the midst of promoting their new cleaner green technology through CAES. They are able to bring CAES through innovative speed bumps, which we will look into as we move through the presentation. ABC Nationwide strives to bring the greener option through creative technology, but to also make it feasible for the potential clients. The company that my group will be doing this feasibility study on is UPS. Here's a quick overview of the company. Our location is 1457 Victoria Avenue in San Bernardino, California. The San Bernardino location has 100 trucks, which 40 of them are 100% electric. Their facility is 69,000 square feet. UPS is a 107-year-old company. It started in Seattle, Washington, and then quickly expanded nationwide, which then resulted in their international takeover. UPS's services include logistics, distribution, transportation and freight, forwarding packages and mail to more than 220 countries. They serve everyone from the common household to giant companies like Amazon or the military. The company strives to be an industry leader when it comes to going green. Compressed air systems have been around since the 1870s, but ABC Nationwide is bringing a different type of prototype to the renewable energy game. There are 4 types of CAES storage systems. The first one's adiabatic storage system. The second one is diabatic storage system. The third is the isothermal storage system, and the fourth system uses an air blast venturi pump. ABC Nationwide has created a prototype for the CAES system through the use of speed bumps and storage tanks. The way it works is the speed bumps are covering pistons that get pushed down when a heavy object goes over the speed bump. The piston pushes compressed air into the storage tank, and once in the tank, the compressed air can be converted into electricity through a turbine, creating a great source of renewable energy. This is a great alternative to just having Southern California Edison as your primary electricity company. The use of a CAES system by UPS is currently not happening or being explored because UPS just doesn't know about it. UPS uses solar power, CNG fuel, LNG fuel, and is looking at possible use of propane. There is a real possibility for ABC Nationwide and UPS to have a relationship because the electric trucks that UPS uses can't be 100% emission-free if they aren't using a clean energy source to charge them. Having CAES would allow the company to keep generators on site, which they don't currently have. This would give the company direct access to their renewable energy by having the generators on site. The great thing about UPS is that they're always looking for ways to continue to go green.
The Porter's Four Corners model is a viable tool when assessing the market and the competition's responsiveness to an ever-changing economic climate. When we look at the Four Corners model, we look at 4 distinct factors, with the first one being motivation. Evaluating the gaps versus the competition's goals can provide information on how reactive the competition may be to the emergence of a newcomer into the market or a new breakthrough in technology. Secondly, we want to look at the management assumptions. It is imperative at some stage for every organization to assess its position within the market along with evaluating its strengths and weaknesses. Third would be strategy. A company strategy will outline objectives and goals and serves as a tool to assess how an organization is performing versus the strategy implemented. The fourth factor to consider are capabilities. This part of the model focuses on the competitor's ability to respond or drive change in the external environment.
I'm gonna quickly take us through the SWOT analysis. Just a few key points that I want to make. First of all, SWOT analysis goes over the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats involved in any business or project. This SWOT analysis focuses on the compressed air energy storage device stemming from the speed bumps. So on ABC Nationwide, in regards to this project, they hold the patent on the speed bump prototype. It's an innovative product, strong value product with customers, and the quality of the product is very, very strong. And not only that, they got a strong experienced team behind it within this market. Some of the weaknesses: they have no current success story, lack of reputation in the marketplace, and lack of brand recognition. They're not out there. Customers don't really know who they are yet. So we got a lot of explaining to do to the customers to be able to quantify the value of ABC Nationwide to them. Opportunities: energy consumption market is enormous. Electricity growth alone will double between the years 2007 2030, and there's a lot of traffic areas out there that already have speed bumps. So it just gives us an opportunity because speed bumps are already there. Now we could turn that into something in which these companies could use to use for renewable energy. Some threats: there's a lot of new competitive entrants, and there's a lot of other sources of energy such as solar, wind, etc. So with growing competition, it's a market that a lot of people are trying to get in. I was just at an expo. This is the route that a lot of companies want to go in, and there's a lot of companies that are trying to provide that.
We can look at Porter's 5 forces as a method to analyze the green energy industry that ABC Nationwide wishes to enter. The first force that we can look at is the threat of new entrants. As ABC Nationwide has patented their speed bump technology, it is unlikely that there will be other entrants that will have the same technology to provide green energy. However, there could be the threat of substitutes. So other companies may come in with other similar or different inventions that could also provide green energy for industries that could be competitive with ABC Nationwide's idea. Another force that we can look at is the bargaining power of buyers. Buyers are certainly interested in acquiring green energy to offset their carbon footprint, as well as to offset the costs that they have with current energy consumption. Buyers may have good bargaining power because they could use one of the substitutes. So they could negotiate with ABC Nationwide in order to get a better price. However, if the buyers are restricted to using traditional sources of energy, such as electric power provided by large electric companies, then in general they have little buying power because they're stuck with one avenue for their consumption. If a large number of buyers get together, they might have better bargaining power, or if the buyer is a large consumer, they will also probably have better buying power with any type of energy producer. Another one of the forces that we can look at is the bargaining power of suppliers. as ABC Nationwide intends to produce all of their own equipment, they are rather self-reliant in this aspect. Therefore, they do not really succumb to the bargaining power of suppliers. They're really in the driver's seat in terms of this threat of one of Porter's five forces. So looking at all of these four forces that we've just mentioned, we look at the competitive rivalry within the industry. The competitive rivalry is relatively high, especially due to the fact that the need for energy and the consumption of energy has been continually on the rise, not only in the US, but also perhaps even more markedly in developing nations. So as far as I know, ABC Nationwide is currently looking at domestic locations for installing their invention. Yet perhaps one of the more demanding locations in terms of energy consumption would be to locate the device in developing nations.
I'm going to briefly speak about the pest analysis. It's a political, economic, social, and technological analysis which is affecting our environment, within different factors. So politically, rising energy costs are finally starting to force global leaders to research alternatives and provide the funding to make changes. Global warming, other issues have really come up in our government, pollution, sustainable development of our world as a whole. So we really need to create other solutions. Well, governments are now coming together because we have to promote ways in which we could be more green and promote renewable energies through rebates and tax credits and so forth, which could be huge politically. A huge factor for UPS here is that developing speed bumps, which could be used to facilitate the transfer of compressed air energy to generate electricity, creates an open market for companies like ABC Nationwide because they have something that's innovative and something which companies could take advantage of politically with tax credits. Economically, the cost savings to businesses and organizations that use and consume electrical energy could be substantial. Moreover, it could create more jobs in the industry. For example, in government sectors, they will probably create departments to help regulate the efficient use of green energy. Actually, some already have. And more companies are going to be established to promote more green businesses, which means more jobs for people within that environment. The impact is for UPS. The cost savings economically could come twofold to where it benefits them politically with credits, as well as receiving a healthy return on investment on their on this project. UPS will be able to tout the fact too that they're one of the leaders in the industry, which will have a huge impact on more customers visiting and seeing them to actually get their products delivered or get it sent out. Socially, approximately 1.3 billion people live without access to energy. People are forced to use fuels that pollute and cause illnesses, like kerosene and biomass, and a lot of greenhouse gases. It is a global crisis. So many companies are committed to creating avenues to sustain this environment. So for UPS, it will benefit them from anything which helps to create a safer and healthier opportunity in the marketplace. It's actually already a big part of their program, with the program they have committed to MORD, which is committed to sustainability efforts to help create a safer and protect the environment for people. So they're already committed to it. This just backs it up, and they could use this to tout their commitment to this. And lastly, technologically, the speed bump prototype will have dual functionality. Most speed bumps right now, you just roll over them. Doesn't have no other functionality except to enhance safety. These would enhance safety and also be a source to attain compressed air, which then goes to a generator and then powers the building with electricity. So this will have more than one function, way more green, and it takes away the ability or the necessary use of greenhouse gases and fuels to be able to power our businesses. And the impact for UPS is they'll be a leader in technological advancement, save money, and socially, they'll be one of the drivers of a better, more sustainable environment.
The three major components of sustainability to be considered here are environmental sustainability, human sustainability, and socioeconomic sustainability. Although all three work hand in hand in many ways, often when people talk about sustainability they are referring to the environment. The CAES system is a clean alternative energy source that uses an endlessly renewable resource, air, to produce electricity. The system is inherently environmentally sustainable and actually reduces the requirement for other dirtier energy sources. Regarding human sustainability, the system is safe and even paired up with an existing safety feature, speed bumps, without presenting any extra inconvenience or hardship or hindering customer operations. It also has the potential to generate jobs for research and development, installation, maintenance, and other duties that revolve around the implementation of the proposed technology. Bringing in these new jobs, reducing the electricity costs for ABC's customers, bringing in revenue for ABC, and helping Edison meet its government-imposed energy capacity and carbon emissions requirements also makes this system social.
In order to gather data for our analysis, we conducted personal interviews at the target market. We visited the UPS location in San Bernardino on two separate occasions, on October 6th and October 22nd. On October 6th, we met Rich Day, who is the manager and the regional manager, and he was very helpful in terms of supplying information, background information on the company, and then introducing us to one of his site managers, who then gave us a tour of the facility. It was useful for our team to be able to see the facility in person and get a better idea as to where we would recommend locating these speed bump prototypes. We made the follow-up visit on October 22nd in order to request further specific financial data that we needed in order to perform our financial analysis. And so our group would like to thank the people at UPS who were so helpful and kind with giving us the information that we needed in order to conduct this feasibility study.
In regards to market size and growth, the San Bernardino location has 100 trucks that cover over 72,000 miles of territory daily. The territory is made up of over 17 cities. The company's growth since the last recession has been a steady 7 to 10% increase. Overall, the company has over 1,990 operating facilities, and their delivery fleet is made up of package cars, vans, motorcycles, alternative fuel vehicles, tractors, trailers, jets, and charter aircraft. Existing plans for CAS, as I mentioned before, UPS has no plans for this due to their lack of knowledge of the technology, but UPS would be open to using this type of renewable energy because it's a great opportunity and the company would also qualify for tax incentives and grants. In regards to market opportunities, currently there are no speed bumps at the facility, but CAS technology would help with their charging of their electric cars and making them truly zero-emission vehicles. With UPS having as many facilities as it does, it would be a great opportunity to have the CAS systems that ABC Nationwide has put together a prototype for.
We talk about the 4 P's, which is product, price, place, and promotion. For the product, innovative product is speed bumps, which have been created and developed by ABC. These speed bumps are engineered to be part of a gateway to help facilitate an avenue for obtaining compressed air from the weight and motion of moving vehicles over the speed bumps. So far, 2 prototypes have been designed and built, and the patent for those are currently pending. The price. In 2 case studies conducted by ABC Nationwide, the study found when the profitability of the project is projected out 10 years, not only do companies attain a 100% return on their investment, but they also make a pretty hefty profit in regards to the cost of the system, which could be pretty substantial. One of the greatest benefits of all is the elimination of the electricity costs. A place for this. The strongest opportunity for this project is where there are high traffic areas and electricity is a huge necessity. This includes businesses, government organizations, municipalities, even freeways if it's possible at times, or off-ramps. But businesses are probably the top ones right now. So, and with UPS, there's a lot of opportunity because they have a huge delivery fleet, many vehicles, and so forth, and they have 1,990 facilities worldwide. The promotional strategy must focus on the cost savings associated with the product, which could power buildings, and secondly, on the sustainability plan for keeping our communities safer, healthier, and environmentally friendly. So UPS wants to be a leader in both of those initiatives. They want to drive profits while also being a socially responsible company, and this product would do that. So 4 C's, which is convenience, cost to the user, communication, customer wants and needs. Convenience is important, as it is embedded in UPS's mission to be more sustainable. They want to provide an easy modern source which they could turn to, and with innovative speed bumps, they could do that. With that being present at their location and managing some of the focus areas to put them, this should be pretty convenient for them. They could put it up in all their locations, and many of the locations do have speed bumps. Not the one that we're focusing on primarily, but other locations do. Cost to the user. UPS projected electricity cost is about $5,800 to $6,000 per month. So UPS San Bernardino will have an annual electricity cost of about $67,000 to $75,000. By choosing a smaller system to operate with at that location and 10 years projection, they would have brought in quite a bit of profits. The cost saving to UPS of not having to no longer pay for the cost of electricity, huge. Customer wants and needs. UPS wants to purchase added value in products which help them operate better, save costs, and improve profits. They see avenues in 4 of their goals, which are environmental responsibility, empower people, connect the community, and economic enhancement. The wants and needs to be environmentally responsible is a gateway for the enhanced speed bump prototype because it is a means for them to hit a key indicator goal, which is lowering carbon emissions by 20%. So this is a great avenue for them to do that. Positioning. ABC Nationwide has an exclusive patent on the technology, so for UPS, the project must be positioned as a new alternative for renewable energy, which is not only consistent with UPS values of reducing carbon intensity, but could also provide an avenue for large cost savings when implemented effectively. So, which is huge. And then, as you'll see those graphs supporting that.
When we look at critical success factors, there are certain areas that need to be examined when determining success factors associated with a CARES implementation. These should include the following: utilizing historical data for energy and operating prices from several U.S. electricity markets, evaluating the economic performance of CARES in a variety of locations, including several locations proposed for new CARES installations, evaluating electricity price trends over the past few years in specified regions, assessing the need to implement multiple applications versus single applications, and finally, evaluating efficiency, energy density, life cycle, and cost, also including the initial maintenance costs. Target market. With attention and public influence on promoting a green environment, many establishments in the public and private sectors are looking for ways to drive and implement green processes in their respective industries. The expense being at the forefront of most conversations when promoting green concepts, technology in the form of CARES presents a viable and affordable solution to real dilemmas for many organizations looking to be socially responsible by contributing to the environment for renewable energy. A closer look at some of the competitive market consists of a wide array of prospective clients, such as utilities to commercial customers, local government, renewable energy product developers, schools, parks and recreation facilities, local communities, retail industries, delivery and transportation industry, malls, shopping complexes, and financial institutions. Market segmentation. ABC Nationwide will have to consider 3 basic factors that affect market segmentation. First, the need to establish a clear identification of the segment will be needed. Secondly, assessing the measurability of its effective size. And third, the accessibility through promotional influence. Understanding the specific needs of the UPS 70 locations and limitations will be a key component during this phase. With the immense amount of parking lots and infrastructure within the US, the manufacturers and designers of speed bumps are well positioned for a promising future. According to an article entitled Overview of the US Parking Industry, there are an estimated 105 million commercial parking spaces in the US. With that said, ABC Nationwide has an opportunity to segment its product to an array of organizations ranging from retailers to the medical industry to airports, universities, stadiums, arenas, and malls. With this said, the future for CARES technology implemented in speed bumps looks very promising.
When UPS first started as a company, the owner borrowed $100 from a friend in order to get the company going. Today, UPS is a cash-rich company. UPS makes 90% of its money from the delivery and picking up of packages and mail, and the other 10% comes from logistics, for example, warehousing products for companies like Nike or credit card companies. In the 90s, UPS transitioned from just being a distributor of goods. UPS Capital was founded during this time, providing UPS customers a comprehensive menu of financial products and services that helped companies to be able to grow their business, making UPS a one-stop shop that could provide a variety of bundle packages to companies like freight, capital services, and warehousing.
When looking at sources of capital for ABC Nationwide, we can specifically look at two very interesting options for raising capital. One is crowdfunding, in which ABC Nationwide would turn consumers into investors. With this strategy, in the specific needs analysis that we are looking at with United Parcel Service, UPS would lease or buy the equipment from ABC Nationwide and pay fees to ABC Nationwide for maintenance and or royalties, and then be able to consume the energy that is produced or purchase the energy that is produced, depending on what type of business model is adopted. But the point for ABC Nationwide is that they are able to finance the cost of building and installing the equipment through the actual buyer, therefore requiring less initial capital outlay on their behalf. The other option that ABC Nationwide should aggressively pursue is the EB-5 Immigrant Investor Visa. This is a way in which a foreign investor can essentially purchase permanent resident status in the United States by investing $1 million in a U.S. corporation that will save 10 American jobs. Also, in order to obtain an EB-5 Immigrant Investor Visa, there is another option in which potential investors could invest only $500,000 and receive the same benefit. But the restriction here is that they invest in a business that is located in a severely economically repressed region with very high statistics on unemployment. Therefore, it may be very interesting for ABC Nationwide to pursue potential opportunities in locations such as Alabama and Detroit, Michigan, where unemployment rates have been very high for the last several years. The problem with this source of capital is reaching potential investors. It may be difficult to advertise this opportunity to investors who would actually want to buy a green card. not all wealthy investors necessarily want to have the obligations of residing in the United States. So it needs to be a good fit between the investor and ABC Nationwide. Nevertheless, it is a very interesting option in order to raise large sums of capital with very little risk, very low interest, and high potentials for ROI.
Okay, I'm gonna speak briefly on the pro forma financial statements that we have. Number one, we have pro forma financial statement, which includes the income statement and the balance sheet. The income statement being a P&L or profit and loss statement, and the balance sheet being a snapshot of a company's financial condition. These are just important measures for us to be able to see the profitability of a company, and not only that, its efficiency, its ability to be able to pay its bills, the equity that's also accumulated within the company that could also attract more investors, shareholders, to put more money within the company. Now, a couple assumptions or a couple facts is that ABC Nationwide is a private company, so a lot of their information is still private. So with a lot of inconclusive data, it was important that we just provided some pro forma financial statements, gave an overview of what some of the data would look like. Of course, numbers could be changed to actual numbers and the figures projected out based on how it is project to project, but of course with no history and nothing on the books that makes it rough. What was assumed at the beginning, or what was given to us, is that ABC Nationwide spent in 2015 $80,000 in general and administrative costs, and they spent $6 million in sales and marketing. Also, there's a 15% gross margin on their on this particular product. And of course, which was given to us, is $162,000 was the total cost of the system, and of course, there's a 5% maintenance charge on that. But anyways, referring to the income statement, you can see the top line sales is $171,000, which obviously includes the total cost of the speed bump and the annual maintenance cost. Of course, depending on the time of setup with the annual maintenance cost, that might actually roll into year one instead of it being in a year zero type deal. But it all depends on when they decide to start it, and of course the way that those costs are set up. So we also assume a 15% gross margin on that, which means that off the initial deal we'll make $25,600 gross income. That doesn't count also the general and administrative and the sales and marketing costs, which will also come out of that total number. Which, if those numbers were true on the numbers that were given to us for 2015, that'd be a huge loss based on that this was their only product or only project they were working on. We also assume that they probably have other projects. We don't know what they are and other products, which is why some of those costs are so expensive in other arenas. But it's just hard for us to divvy that back down to just be conclusive of just this one project. So that was one financial statement. So I do wrote down. You can see the numbers. You can see what percentage of sales, so forth. But it's just kind of all over, just depending on the information that was provided to us. On the balance sheet, this includes assets, liabilities. The balance sheet is very important because, like I mentioned earlier, the balance sheet is a snapshot of a company's financial condition. That's their ability to pay their bills. That's their ability to be able to retain equity and some type of stocking within what they got to offer to investors. So they want to show that they have the ability that it's a healthy company and a company that can continue to and a company that can continue to grow. So of course, there's also a lot of numbers that I'll put into that, but Nationwide, ABC Nationwide as a whole has a lot of opportunity to grow, a lot of things going on. Of course, in our sheets, as you will see, the numbers don't look so healthy because of the high expenses, and we have a small UPS location that we're working on. So small location, one project alone wouldn't be successful. So if it was a business feasibility study that just included that they were only going to put this in one spot, based on their current expenses, it may not be worth it. But if we had the other line items or the other products and services or other things that they're doing as well, then I think that this would be much more beneficial on the actual numbers. So I'm going to talk about some financial ratios and the DuPont analysis. Financial ratios, number one, are just key indicators of a company's situation. These are all always used, very typically used to analyze trends and to compare financial data with other companies, especially within the same industry. But so based on the numbers, most of this information rolls up from the income statement and the balance sheet, and then it's just really math. So on the financial ratio analysis, one of the first financial ratios is gross margin, which we talked about. They kind of gave us that number. It's 15%. So they're making 15% on each item they sell because of cost of the goods that are coming out of that sale. So cost of goods would probably be about 85% of the product, and then they'll be making 15% gross margin on that particular sale. So you take that away. That's important for the obvious reason that we kind of mentioned before. They need enough gross income to be able to cover the cost of sales and marketing and general and administrative. So they got to have, obviously, they need more coming in than they have going out, and that's where we have to manage, and that's where you have to really manage the P&L. Return on equity is also important because it measures the business profitability by revealing how much profit a company generates with the money shareholders have invested. Now, with ABC being a privately held company again, and that type of information not being disclosed in any type of form, it's hard to really make assumptions on it. So as you will see, we have ratios on the on the return of equity, which is 2015 100%, 2016 50.35%, just based on actually doing the math. But as real numbers, they're not real numbers, so it would be hard to really make a real assessment out of those numbers. But that's very important because return on equity is how we're going to get more shareholders to invest, and that's what keeps the company going. So that money coming in. Current ratios is also on there, which measures the ability for a company to pay its short-term obligations. Then we have the operating margin, which is an important measurement of what proportion of a company's revenue is left over after paying for variable costs such as wages, raw materials, etc. Again, some information out of there that makes it hard. And of course, we have ratios on here that show its profitability ratios and so forth. So, which, like I said, on our numbers won't be as positive because of a lot of the negative numbers we have on there in regards to in regards to pretty much operating costs, which is extremely high on what we have. So those are some of the main ones. Of course, there's more efficiency ratios, risk ratios, and so forth. This is just a great overall picture to be able to tell the health of a company. Okay, sales forecasting, preparing a sales forecast. And this is interesting in so many different ways. In a lot of companies, particularly, especially, some of the companies I work for, I actually am working sales. And one of the things that's very, very important is that we're able to forecast sales for the future. So for this particular project, though, the UPS project, the total cost of the system is $162,000. The annual maintenance cost is going to be there, which is 5% of the total cost of the system, at least for 10 years. So that 5% on the $162,000 is $8,100, and that $8,100 they'll make out for at least the 10 years of the project. So $162,000 initially, $8,100 going forward, which could be divided up in monthly charges, as you see on the form of $675, which equals $8,100. But the annual cost as a whole could be the end of the year, could be that end of the year dollar. Now, the part that we really couldn't put on here is the possible future sales. Future sales are important to not only be able to gauge, but you have to know what's going on in the marketplace and deals that are going to close or deals that have already closed that aren't really a part of the sales yet, but could be rolled out in the future of upcoming. Now, we don't have that, so as of right now, the sales for UPS going forward, even for future years going from 2016 to 2020, would be just a straight maintenance cost, which is $8,100, and there would be no sales particular growth because there's no other costs associated with this sale. No, that we know of. So we don't know about price increase. Of course, we don't know about price increases, and of course, Maybe maintenance charges end up changing, but of course, for that first 10 years, everything will pretty much probably stay pretty flat, and in the 5% cost for maintenance and the 162. But future sales in there could really change the project, and of course, more locations. So if somebody might be committed to two, but at the end of the verge of the contract, it might be something that we have in the forecast going forward.
The first step in the break-even analysis is to define some key variables and parameters. Here I show the project cost was $162,000. The maintenance cost is 5% of the project cost annually, so $8,100 per year. Revenue is in the form of cost savings on electricity for UPS, which is $70,800 per year. Annuity, as defined for this break-even analysis, is the revenue minus the maintenance cost, which comes out to $62,700 per year. NPV, or the net present value, is the sum of, over the entire duration of the project, the revenue minus the cost each year, discounted by rate R for each year. This is to account for the time value of money and put everything in terms of the value of the dollar at one particular point in time. Here we use the numbers from the previous slide to generate a simple cash flow and simple cumulative cash flow diagram with a discount rate of 0%. The project requires a large initial investment and maintains a constant annuity each year. The duration at which the cumulative cash flow reaches $0 is referred to as the payback period or the break-even point. The NPV is the cumulative cash flow at the end of the 10-year project. In this case, the payback period is 2.6 years, which meets the 5-year maximum requirement of the particular UPS location in question. With this 0% discount rate, the project would result in a profit of $465,000 for UPS. This video illustrates the effect of increasing the discount rate. Notice that as R increases, the 10-year NPV, or total profitability, is driven down for this project, and the payback period is pushed out into the future. The discount rate that drives the project to a final NPV of $0 is also referred to as the break-even point. It is the change in the value of the dollar over time that would result in a project that draws neither a profit nor a deficit. The discount rate that would result in this condition for this project is 37.1%. This is a high rate, and it means that it is very unlikely that this project will not be profitable for UPS. To put the number into perspective, inflation rates are currently around 3% and have a high of 4.1% over the past 10 years. This slide explores two alternative methods of driving the final NPV of the project to break even. The first proposes a change in the cost of the project while keeping assumed energy consumption and maintenance costs the same. The second explores the possibility of UPS drawing less energy than expected, driving the savings, or what is referred to as revenue here, downward. In order for the project to not be profitable for UPS, the initial investment would have to be 4 times higher, again assuming the discount rate of 0%, or the company would have to reduce energy consumption by 75%. The payback period under 5 years, a simple NPV of $450,000, a break-even discount rate of 37.1%, the high financial stability of the system, and the safety in the investment indicate that this project is highly viable from a financial standpoint for UPS. From a financial standpoint, we see that the project is profitable and pays back under 5 years, as required by UPS at this particular location, and it is stable. As far as sustainability is concerned, this project helps UPS meet environmental commitments, helps Edison meet capacity requirements, helps bring an end to the energy crisis, does not compromise safety, and does not hinder UPS or customer operations. From an innovation standpoint, this project helps drive alternative energy technology forward and pairs energy production with existing safety features. So overall, our feasibility study says go for it.